Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, we're going to go over our top 10 parks that we have been able to visit. This list should be very easy because we've only been able to visit 10 parks. Being a small YouTube channel, we don't really have the funds to travel full time, so we have to do it in little spurts throughout the summer. We are just outside the Cincinnati area, so we started with all the parks that have been close to us. Number 10 is Stricker Grove in Ross, Ohio. I grew up in Ross, Ohio, so this park was actually considered my home park. It has 2 roller coasters, the Tornado and Teddy Bear, and multiple fair-like flat rides. These coaster credits are extremely hard to obtain as it's only open 4 days a year to the public. It's mainly rented out by small businesses throughout the year, so if you know local companies, you can get in for free and ride things all day. My mom used to work for a dump truck company and they rented it out each year, and you were able to ride these rides as many times as you want. Next time you're in the Cincinnati area, try to plan it around a day where Stricker Grove is open and hit it right after Kings Island, as it's only about an hour from Kings Island. Number 9 is Michigan's Adventure in Muskegon, Michigan. Now, Michigan's Adventure was kind of a random trip that we decided to take one holiday weekend. It was pretty far away and we weren't really expecting much. However, it is probably the worst park in the Cedar Fair chain, which is now also Six Flags. It is still a fun little park. The only thing we didn't really like about this park was the layout, as it's laid out as a U shape, so to get from one side to the other kind of takes a long walk, but they had a few roller coasters that were fun, including a Vekoma SLC, which that was our first one, called Thunderhawk. Shivering Timbers is a top 20 ride for us. It's one of the funnest wooden coasters we've been on, and made the trip alone worth it for that ride. It's a cute little park that if you have a Cedar Fair pass or now a Six Flags pass or whatever they decide to do with that, it's worth visiting at least one time to get the credits. Number 8 is Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville. Kentucky Kingdom is actually what I call a little sleeper park. Really wasn't expecting much as well going into this park. I did know they had an RMC Storm Chaser. Let me tell you though, we actually got deals where it was cheaper for us to buy season passes. So we went to this park 8 or 9 times this year and it is absolutely fun. It sits in downtown Louisville, Kentucky, so it's kind of hard to get to. There is a road that goes down the center of the park, which is very bizarre, but yet very cool because you can take the bridge to get over it, or they have people standing outside a crosswalk area and you can walk across the road. They have 2 top 20 worthy roller coasters. As I said before, Storm Chaser is amazing. That is one of my favorite RMCs. It's extremely violent, but violent in a fun way. It is smooth, throws you around. It's one of my favorite RMCs. They also have Lightning Run, which is a Chance Hyper GTX, the only one in the United States as of recording this video. They have a great water park, many flat rides that are really fun. And it's cheap enough to, if you're visiting Holiday World or Kings Island, it's not far away, you should plan on adding Kentucky Kingdom to the trip. Dorney Park, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Our number 7 is Dorney Park. It being at number 7 does not mean it's a bad park. It's a little on the smaller side, but it has a lot to offer. It's got a B&M invert, Talon. It has an old school Morgan Hyper, which was way more fun than it should be. It's got an Intamin Impulse coaster, and it has a ton of flat rides. You can complete Dorney Park in one day. We were able to go for 8 hours and ride everything multiple times. And that's what's good about Dorney. They have other big parks near Dorney, so it doesn't get very packed throughout the week. It's very well landscaped and is one of the prettiest parks actually that we've been to, but that's what you expect from any Cedar Fair park. Number 6, Kings Dominion. Now this is essentially like a Kings Island with a lot of trees. They have 2 top 10 worthy coasters as Intimidator 305 and Twisted Timbers. Intimidator 305, which I'm going to call I-305, is the most intense roller coaster on the planet by far. I can't believe at the time my kids were 7 and 9. They absolutely thought it was the funnest roller coaster they've been on up until that point. I believe it's our number 3 or number 4 top roller coaster right now. Twisted Timbers is an RMC like Storm Chaser, offers a fun layout, a lot of airtime, barrel roll down drop, and many other elements that RMC generally offers. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to ride Dominator as it rained all day, but we plan on going back here in a few years once they get a new roller coaster. If you're ever in the area, you got to swing into Kings Dominion. For at least a day, we were able to clear the park in about 6 to 7 hours. but we did go on a very rainy day, so the park was pretty empty most of the day. Oh, and I can't forget Tumbili. The kids would get mad if I don't mention Tumbili. Tumbili is an S&S 4D free spin coaster. They loved it. That was like one of their favorite rides. With the park being empty, they've got to ride it like 10 times. King's Dominion is an amazing park. Now the top 5 is going to start with no other than Dollywood in Tennessee. Dollywood is by far the most beautiful park on this list. It is very well landscaped. The theming in every area is absolutely gorgeous. Now I don't have any footage of Dollywood because we went last year before we started vlogging. They have amazing roller coasters. Lightning Rod, we got to ride with the launch. Thunderhead, which is an awesome GCI. Tennessee Tornado, which is probably the best aero coaster we've ever been on. Mystery Mine. The kids area at Dollywood is amazing. They have Dragon Flyer and Big Bear Mountain. And we can't talk about Dollywood without mentioning the cinnamon bread. Their cinnamon bread alone is amazing and worth the trip by itself to go to Dollywood. Anytime you're in the Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg area, swing up to Dollywood and ride some good roller coasters. Number 4 is Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. Now, Holiday World surprised us. We knew they had great roller coasters and a great layout. However, the atmosphere of this park is unmatched. You walk into the Christmas section and it feels like you literally just walked into the South Pole. Maybe it's the North Pole. I can't even remember where Santa hangs out anymore. I'm too old. They offer some of the best wooden roller coasters on the planet by far. The Legend and the Voyage, for me personally, are both top 5 roller coasters, at least out of the 100 or so that I have been on. They have amazing food, awesome flat rides, and the layout is pretty good as well. Our favorite rides are personally back in the Thanksgiving section, but the whole park is amazing. It was such an amazing park. Mama and Papa loved it as well, and we will be going back here in the next few years, especially to catch more rides on the Voyage. Coming in at number 3, and this might make a couple people mad, it is Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio. Now, Cedar Point has the best roller coaster lineup of any park in the world. Steel Vengeance is our number 1. There hasn't been anything come close to that. Maverick is in our top 10. Valraven is awesome. Gatekeeper is our favorite wing coaster. I mean, the rides go on and on. They have so many good roller coasters here. We even enjoyed Rougarou. They probably have the best lineup of food as well. They have the most amazing brisket that is located at Backbeat Q, and it's our favorite place to eat. Now, you may be wondering why we put it at number 3. We visited Cedar Point 5 different times this year. Every single time we went, no matter if it was during the week or a weekend, the park was packed. There was tens of thousands of people. Being a smaller YouTube channel, we can't really afford season pass Fastlane because it's like $1,000 a person. So we have to rate these parks based on our personal experience. I'm sure that if we had Fastlane, Cedar Point would be a lot higher on the list as we'd be able to ride more rides at one trip. No matter what day we went, it was just overly crowded. But it is still one of the most exclusive and best coaster lineups on the planet. I'm sure everybody who's watching this video has been to Cedar Point, so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Anytime that you're in Ohio or near Ohio, you have got to try Cedar Point. Number 2, Carowinds, Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, I know a lot of people are going to wonder why we put Carowinds over Cedar Point. We visited Carowinds 2 different times this year for a total of 4 days. Even on a Saturday, the longest we had to wait was 10 to 15 minutes for any ride. Carowinds offers some of the best roller coasters in the planet, including Fury 325, Copperhead Strike, and Afterburn, which is my personal favorite B&M invert. The Thursday that we went was the most amazing day we've had at any theme park so far this year. Everything was a walk-on from morning to night. Between roller coaster rides, flat rides, and shows, we rode over 65 rides that day with no fast lane. And it's right outside a major city. I don't know if we just got lucky, but the experience we had was amazing. We cleared the whole park. We were able to go back and get multiple re-rides on Fury, which is why most people go, because Fury is an amazing roller coaster. But Carowinds really surprised us. They have just such a deep lineup, a good lineup, great operations, and was our second favorite park of the 2023 season. And coming in at number 1, no surprise, Kings Island, Mason, Ohio. We're lucky enough to call this park home. We have visited well over 100 times in the last 2 years. Kings Island offers everything. They have an amazing kids area for the kids. They have elite rides, Mystic Timbers, Diamondback, and Orion, some of my favorite. Then you add on the Beast, which is a classic and the longest wooden roller coaster in the world. You have Banshee, a huge B&M invert roller coaster. You have great food spread throughout. Our favorite place is either Coney Barbecue or the Chicken Shack. They have awesome flat rides throughout the park, and they just added 2 new flat rides, Cargo Loco and Soul Spin. Kings Island is the most well-rounded park with the best operations that we've ever experienced. Every roller coaster is running maximum trains. We are lucky enough to call Kings Island our home park. If you're ever in the Cincinnati area, and even if you're not into roller coasters, you have to check out Kings Island. These are the 10 parks that we have been able to visit since we started going to theme parks. We're hoping to get more parks next year in 2024. We have a few small trips planned. If you have any suggestions on which parks we should visit, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!